Gun show customers, beware. The feds, they're encouraging local police departments to scan license plates at gun shows in Southern California to learn more about who attends these events. Agents are comparing the information they receive to cars that cross the Mexican border, they say, in hopes to find gun smugglers. But at what cost do these tactics blur the line between citizens' rights to privacy and protection and the general public? Joining me now to discuss, Eric Guster and Alex Kincaid. Alex, let me start with you. This is the kind of stuff that makes people very, very concerned about an all-out war against the Second Amendment.
Correct. Yeah, it does, and for good reason, because we know that gun owners' mistrust of the government is grounded in fact and history. We've had to have Congress step in 1986 and pass the Firearm Owners Protection Act to protect us from the government actually taking advantage and targeting gun owners and gun businesses. And here we are again. This has been going on since around 2008. We see the government once again looking at innocent citizens who are attending gun shows under the purview that somehow we're going to stop crime by scanning their license plates and looking them up. And there is no proof that this has any legitimate law enforcement purpose.
Eric, I mean, what would the purpose be? I mean, that looks a little flimsy. Reminds me of one of the scenes from The Godfather. I mean, they're treating people who are exercising their Second Amendment rights as potential criminals.
Well, we're worried about the ones who are the criminals who are at the gun shows, who are smuggling guns, because that's one of the ways that so many of these guns get on our streets. And being a criminal defense lawyer, I know how the guns get on the streets. And the gun show loophole, that's how so many of these people
there is no
sell
gun show
things.
Loophole in California.
That's how so many people.
No,
I did not interrupt you. Let me finish. I did not interrupt you. Let me finish.
Everyone who goes to a gun show in California undergoes a background check.
Hold on one second. Alex, let Eric finish, and then we definitely want to hear what you have to say.
When oftentimes people go to gun shows, and that's how they buy guns, and that's how they put them on a black market. So what the government is doing is they scan these license plates to see who was buying these guns.
Profiling?
Just in case.
Aren't they throwing a pretty wide net to catch a very small group of people?
Well, they use the
Exactly.
plates in order to catch the bomber in the New York bombing. So the scanning plates does have a legitimate reason. It does have a legitimate use in law enforcement to protect us from terrorism, and that's how a lot of people get guns.
Alex?
Yes.
Your turn.
Absolute government rhetoric, media-controlled phrases being thrown about there. There is no proof that this is how the criminals are getting their guns. And California runs background checks on each and every sale at a gun show. So to say that the criminals are buying guns at gun shows is absolutely ludicrous.
That's how guns get on the black market.
This is targeting the American gun owner, and we need Congress to step in and protect us, because clearly the Firearms Owners Protection Act is not doing the job at this point. The government is finding ways around it.
Would you say then that this is just a form of profiling and creating a database that could be used in a nefarious way against legal gun owners later?
Well, absolutely it is, because even though we have a law that says that dealer records cannot be used to create a national gun registry, the government is finding a way around it. And the ATF actually has hundreds of millions of records that they have collected because gun dealers go out of business. They get all those records. States are now keeping registries. They're sending that information to the federal government, and they're getting away with it, and this needs to end.
Eric, let me ask you, there's a report out real quick in Tulsa. We have these shootings in Tulsa, Charlotte, and other places. Texas Senator John Whitmire, he's got a bill that mandates that schools teach students how to behave when they get stopped by police officers. You think that's a good idea?
I think it's an excellent idea. So many children, they'll get licenses, they won't know how to interact with police officers, and that's what we see with these police officers stopping people. They don't know how to interact. They don't know how not to escalate a situation, how to speak correctly to a police officer, how to not push that police officer's buttons and get home safely. So it's very important that we teach these young people how to do things the proper way.
Alex, do you like this program?
I like this program too, Charles. I think that law enforcement undergo a lot of training. My dad was in law enforcement for almost 30 years. I've been around cops for a long time, both as a prosecutor and afterward. I defend them now, and I know that they have a lot of training, and if kids do something that triggers them to go into a higher escalated mode of, oh my goodness, my life might be in danger, that's when we're seeing people get shot.
I think we all are thankful for it, for sure. We're also